White initiates with a standard king's pawn opening, maintaining equality. This move is a solid start, keeping the position balanced. Black responds with the Sicilian defense, a solid and dynamic choice. The balance is preserved, indicating an equal footing for both sides. White develops the knight to an active square. This solid move slightly favors white, but the game remains dynamically balanced. Black shores up the center with a pawn advance. This solid move maintains the dynamic balance, with white holding a tiny edge. White opts for a fianchetto setup. This move is a slight inaccuracy, dropping some advantage and returning the game to equality. Black mirrors white's fianchetto, solidifying their position. The game remains in a state of dynamic balance. White completes the fianchetto development with the bishop, a solid move that keeps the position equal and dynamically balanced. Black mirrors white's bishop development, a solid move. The game is perfectly balanced, with white holding a negligible edge. White advances the central pawn, a solid developing move. The position remains equal, with black having a very slight edge. Black develops a knight to a central square. This solid move maintains equality, despite white's very slight initiative. White develops the other knight. This is a solid move, keeping the position equal and strategically balanced. Black supports the pawn structure and opens lines for pieces. This solid move keeps the game equal. White develops the bishop to a key diagonal, a solid move that maintains the equality of the position. Black centralizes the knight, a solid move that maintains the equal status of the game. White castles, a solid and crucial developing move. The game remains balanced with a tiny edge for black. Black repositions the knight. This solid move maintains the dynamic balance, with white holding a slight edge. White pushes a flank pawn, a slight inaccuracy that weakens the central control slightly. The balance is maintained. Black activates the rook on the semi-open file, a solid move that preserves the equal status of the game. White places the rook on the second rank, a solid positional maneuver. The game remains equal. Black centralizes another knight, a solid defensive and offensive posture. The equality is maintained. White plays a pawn move on the flank, a solid but passive choice. The equality is maintained. Black advances the queen to an aggressive central square. This severe blunder drastically shifts the advantage to white. White develops the bishop, but this mistake gives back some of the advantage. The position remains balanced. Black centralizes the queen. This slight inaccuracy doesn't capitalize on white's mistake, maintaining equality. White pushes a flank pawn, a slight inaccuracy. It doesn't significantly alter the balanced nature of the game. Black supports the pawn structure. This slight inaccuracy keeps the game equal, despite white's slight pressure. White moves the king to safety. This mistake gives black a slight initiative, though the position remains equal. Black develops the bishop to a strong diagonal, a solid move that maintains the game's equality. White captures a pawn, a solid exchange. The equality is maintained, with no significant advantage for either side. Black recaptures, a solid move. The game remains dynamically balanced, with white holding a minimal edge. White advances a central pawn, a solid move. The position is still equal, with black having a slight edge. Black captures the pawn, a solid move. The game remains equal, with white holding a very slight edge. White recaptures, equalizing the central pawn structure, a solid move that keeps the game balanced. Black recaptures with the knight, a solid move. The game is perfectly balanced, with neither side having an advantage. White centralizes the knight, a solid move. The game remains equal, with no discernible advantage for either side. Black advances a flank pawn. This slight inaccuracy creates some weakness, giving white a slight edge. White moves the knight to an active outpost, a solid move that maintains white's slight initiative. Black advances another flank pawn. This mistake concedes positional ground, giving white a clearer advantage. White pushes a central pawn. A slight inaccuracy. It slightly improves white's position but doesn't change the overall advantage. Black develops the knight to a strong defensive square, a solid move that consolidates black's position. White centralizes the knight, a solid positional move. White maintains a slight advantage. Black develops the bishop to a strong attacking square, a solid move that keeps white's advantage. White initiates a knight exchange, a solid tactical decision. This reduces black's attacking potential. Black accepts the exchange, a solid move. The advantage for white remains, but the position simplifies. White recaptures with the knight, a solid move. The game is still in white's favor, but the advantage is reduced. Black moves the king, a severe blunder. This allows white a decisive advantage, creating significant threats. White advances a flank pawn, a solid move. This helps secure white's advantage. Black centralizes the knight. This slight inaccuracy doesn't improve black's defensive position significantly. White exchanges knights, a severe blunder. This mistake simplifies the position and reduces white's advantage considerably. Black recaptures the knight, a solid move. The advantage for white remains, but the position is more balanced. White recaptures with the bishop. This slight inaccuracy gives back more advantage and returns the game towards equality. Black pushes a central pawn. This mistake allows white to regain some advantage. White exchanges rooks, a slight inaccuracy. This exchange doesn't significantly alter the positional balance. Black recaptures, a solid move. White still holds a slight advantage. White develops the bishop to a key square, a solid move that maintains white's slight positional edge. Black repositions the knight, a solid move that keeps white's advantage. White moves the queen, a slight inaccuracy. This move doesn't improve white's position much, but the advantage remains. Black moves the king, a severe blunder. This allows white a clear advantage, putting black in a precarious position. White repositions the queen, a solid move that consolidates white's clear advantage. Black centralizes the queen. This slight inaccuracy doesn't help black regain ground, and white's advantage is maintained. White develops the bishop, a solid move that maintains white's clear advantage and improves piece coordination. Black advances a central pawn. This slight inaccuracy concedes more space and improves white's advantage. White develops the bishop aggressively, a slight inaccuracy that still maintains a strong advantage for white. Black moves the king, a solid move that maintains black's position despite white's strong advantage. White develops the bishop to an active square, a solid move that increases white's decisive advantage. Black moves the king. This mistake allows white to gain overwhelming pressure and a significant advantage. White repositions the rook, a solid move that consolidates white's overwhelming advantage. Black activates the rook, a solid move that maintains black's position despite white's overwhelming advantage. White centralizes the queen, a solid move that increases white's overwhelming winning advantage. Black advances a flank pawn. This severe blunder loses material and leads to an overwhelming winning advantage for white. White captures the pawn, a slight inaccuracy, but white's decisive advantage is maintained. Black recaptures the pawn. This severe blunder loses more material and solidifies white's overwhelming winning advantage. White delivers a check with the bishop. A slight inaccuracy that doesn't stop white's overwhelming winning advantage. Black moves the king. A solid move that keeps black's position intact against white's overwhelming advantage. White delivers a check with the queen. A solid move that further enhances white's overwhelming winning advantage. Black centralizes the queen. A solid move that maintains the overwhelming winning advantage for white.